What the hell is up, you fucking cunts? This is episode 49 of Resident Bummer. I just kind of want to get through this and relax, so I'm going to try and keep it brief. I guess I'm the Fulcrum. This is the 50th episode ever released. That's pretty cool. It's 2026 now. I guess that's pretty cool. It's just the progression of time. It had to happen. Health check. I don't know, like 6, 7 out of 10. Clothing check, wouldn't you know it? I'm wearing some excuse me. Good lord, I'm already stumbling over my words. Some basketball shorts. And that same old Deadpool shirt just keeps going through the wash and ends up at the top of the dresser pile very consistently. Motivation check, well, like a 5, I don't know. It's time to read the journal though. On Friday, December 26th, the first entry is, this is actually, this technically I think was after midnight, so that's good. But before I do fall asleep, I watched the first 2 episodes of Fallout Season 2. They finally added It's All Over But the Crying to Spotify, which is cool. It is not the original by, I believe they are the Ink Spots, right? Oh my god, I just bumped the fuck out of my desk. Sorry about that. I think the group is called the Ink Spots, right? I think. I don't know. But it's on Spotify finally, and it's by some other artist, but I don't know. It's a pretty good cover, I think. Eventually I do crash halfway through the second episode, so I do need to rewatch that at some point during the week, which brings us to set 49, day 2. Of course, oh my gosh, my phone slid on my desk. This is already off to a fantastic start. Excuse me, goodness gracious. Yes, this is December 27th, 2025. I believe this is a Saturday. 4:05 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I stream some Hogwarts. I do share the song that I found last night with Penny and Jack. Talk a little bit about it with both of them. Then I eat a meat and cheese sandwich from my mother, which tastes pretty good. I follow up with an ice cream bar because why not? Then I listen to my big playlist of songs. I ask Penny if she wants to play Baldur's Gate 3 today. She says that she's going to be busy moving, which is no problem. I chill on Hogwarts and hop on and off my phone while playing the game. 11:25 p.m. I keep a stream going for 750 plus minutes throughout the day, which is cool. Also, Jack eventually sends me a link to a Spotify artist that he says he really enjoys. I will have to give them a listen at some point. I have not gotten around to that yet. Before all of this, though, I do venture out to my place of work, and I buy some spicy pickleballs, Vlasic spicy pickleballs. They're pretty good. And I do also grab some marinara sauce for my cheese curds that I'm going to make in the air fryer right after I get back home. Tasty stuff. There are 3/4 sitting in the change dish. I take them and I leave with all the rest of my stuff. I get home and I make my cheese curds and dip them in the marinara sauce. Tasty. Again, eventually I open one of the spicy pickleballs that I bought. Then a couple hours later I open the second one that I bought. I drink some grape Kool-Aid to cool off from the spice, which is question mark for this entry. Jack sends a song by Eddie Arnold and an unrelated artist to listen to. Oh yeah, I think I already mentioned that unrelated artist. But I do eventually fall asleep before I'm able to open it up. I'm very tired for some reason, so I just crawl into bed, I think, and go to sleep towards the end of the night. Moving on, this is Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Set 49, day 3 at 12:50 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I watch some YouTube before I head into work. I change and drive in, say hello to Ben, Pierce, and Bernard. Bernard leaves right as I'm clocking in, and I get to work, which, well, it sucks, but it's not much fun, and I update my journal when the store is not busy at 3:25 p.m. Eventually, I hop on my break. There's not really much to update, though, on my journal, so me and Pierce have been chilling. It's snowy out, so we are pretty dead. At 5:10 p.m., Pierce takes off. When the time comes for him to leave, I wait for my replacement to arrive. Work was very dead today. I'm surprised I wasn't more bored than I was. Question mark here at the end of the day, though. I clock off and drive home. I chat with Penny on Discord for a little bit, stream some Carrion, a new game that's leaving Game Pass soon. For a long time, I eat while I'm playing this game, Carrion. I'll say it again, Chrrion. I'll spell it out, why not? Also ate some, I mentioned that I ate while I was playing, but I didn't mention what I ate. I had some ground turkey burgers, which are basically just like sloppy joes with ground turkey instead of ground beef, and also had some cheese curds to eat with them. Pretty tasty. I keep playing the game Carrion, if you forgot, until I finish that. Not really much else happened throughout the week. Time flies, and I eventually crawl into bed and go to sleep. So we're going to move on to Monday, December 29th, set 49, day 4. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I play a little bit more Carrion before work. And then I change and drive into work, say hello to Rich, Pierce, and Anna, and then I get to work. I get some change from the take a penny dish that I took those quarters out of earlier. I guess it's a good time to mention I've grown into a filthy little coin goblin. But recently it just got worse. I used to only pull, if there was more than 5 pennies sitting in there, I would pick out 5 of them and exchange them for a nickel. Or if there were nickels and dimes sitting in there, I would just take those, put them in my pocket. But I pretty much just take any coins that are sitting in there now. If there's 2 pennies sitting in there, I'll take those. Just because I know that eventually I'll get 3 more. And why not? Why miss out on another nickel? It's the worst. But, I mean, make a decent amount of money per week. I'm not gonna lie, just from change. If I had to, I don't want to try it, but it feels like I'm getting at least a $5 bill once per week, or maybe once every other week. It's not bad, but oh well. Judge me if you want. Anyways, work fucking blows. Massive cock, as usual. That's the next journal entry. The following is at 3:30 p.m. I take my break after Rich leaves. Then Ben shows up. He tries to talk to me, but I'm on my break, so I tell him that I'm going to pause my break timer if he wishes to converse with me. He takes off for the main counter, and he allows me to take my break in peace. Just hit the pop filter. That was not fun. There's really nothing more annoying than being held hostage while I'm on my break. That's a lie. There's more stuff that's annoying, there's stuff that's more annoying. But you know what I'm trying to say. 12:50 a.m. I get home after clocking off, stream some Carrion until, if you remember, that 9-year-old girl messages me. She wants me to play Fortnite, but unfortunately it's not installed on my machine, my Xbox. So instead we play some Minecraft. I'm talking with Alex and her other friend, and Calvin, if you remember Calvin. I think I mentioned him on another episode at some point, I think. Eventually Calvin leaves. The 9-year-old is still a little bossy. She just wants to play the game her way. Eventually I do get off to make some cheese curds. They are tasty. I'm assuming I do something else for the rest of the night, but I don't know what that is. So I go to sleep at some point, and we're moving on to December 30th, 2025. I believe this is this Tuesday? Or is this Monday? No, this is Tuesday, idiot. 5:25 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I chill out streaming Carrion for a while until I 100% the game. I grab all the achievements. It's pretty easy. The 9-year-old invites me, but I do have some plans to play Baldur's Gate 3 with Penny, so I don't want to get involved really anywhere else. I play a bit of Hell Let Loose, I think, for the day. I can't remember if that's the right name. That is the right name, I remember now. It's another game leaving Game Pass soon, so I grab a few achievements in that before it's gone forever, until Penny eventually says that she's ready to play Baldur's Gate 3. We figure out the crossplay, how that works, question mark for this next entry. We play for a couple of hours. After we find withers, I do hop off and make some fish sticks. I eat and keep playing Hell Let Loose. It's honestly a shitty game. I do not recommend you play it. If you get access to it, just don't touch it. The 9-year-old wants me to play and asks a bunch throughout the night. Eventually I head to bed. I wake up in the night and dump my glass of water all over my nightstand. It's annoying, but nothing really important got wet or was ruined. It didn't get dumped on like an electronic device in a super heavy way. Seems like all of the water was just able to evaporate eventually overnight. Moving on, this is Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, Set 49, Day 6, 11:35 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I play a little bit of Hell Let Loose until it's time to change for work. I dress and I drive in. At 7:40 p.m., work does suck, but I talk with Rich about Baldur's Gate 3, his New Year plans, and more. Pierce is there too until he leaves. Somehow Anna has not been spoken to yet by the upper management. Eventually I leave and get home, start streaming some Hell Let Loose and make some pizza. I'm also pretty sad when I first get home. I don't really cry though. I just wish I had something to do this time around for New Year's Eve. Maybe next year, hopefully. At 12:45 a.m. I do end up crying at some point, but I get bored of Hell Let Loose and I swap over to streaming some Hogwarts. I chill at home with my dogs when the new year hits. I go downstairs and give them some treats when it's time for the new year. Me and Penny wish each other a happy new year, and I send her some pictures of my dogs. I do play Hogwarts until pretty late in the night. Then I go to bed for the night. That is it for that day of entries. We're moving on to January 1st, Thursday, January 1st. Excuse me, I'm getting so excited. It's the new year. Wait, I didn't skip Wednesday, did I? No, I just did that. I'm crazy. This is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Alright, let's get into it. Set 49, Day 7, 12:20 p.m. I wake up, I shit, I shower, I brush, and I enjoy some YouTube before I leave. I change and I drive into work. Say hi to Anna, Bernard, and Ben. Bernard leaves, and I can't wait for Anna to leave too. Eventually I get to work. At 3:10 p.m., I ask the server if I'm I ask the Discord server I'm in if anyone has a New Year's resolution. For context, back when I was asking random questions on Discord to strangers, there was one person who waited for I feel like I asked them questions for 7 or 8 months, and then eventually they were just like, Can you stop asking me questions? And they were the first one to answer with the New Year's resolution. I don't know, man. It just it's so confusing. I should be happy they're answering my questions, but on the other hand, it's like, what? Am I allowed to? I don't know. I don't know. It's just very confusing. I don't know. I don't know how it always ends up fascinating me. But it's just people are so strange. People are so weird. It's so annoying. It does stuff like this though. Makes me wonder. It's how in the fuck is there somebody just as totally normal as Penny that exists? And I was just lucky enough to run into them. Not really normal though, kind of a step above. It's oh, you actually care. Yeah. It's a nice reminder that it's worth it to, keep looking around. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I got away from the microphone there. It's a nice reminder that it's worth it to keep looking around, for people. Eventually though, while I'm at work, I do hop on, excuse me, I don't know, my brain just fucking broke for the millionth time. Eventually, at work, I hop on break, and I do something weird. Oh yeah, this definitely is weird. 10 p.m., I update my journal here. I do complete an activity from the Charisma Myth. The Charisma Myth. That book I was talking about a month or so ago. The author set up an exercise, and they told me, within the book, they told me to get a sheet of paper and think about someone I want an apology from. So I do this while I'm on break, and I'm assuming I brought them up at some point, but Jack has a friend, and I started asking them questions on Discord, and they blocked me after 2 or 3 questions, I think. They were just bye. And I was oh, bye. And then I tried asking another question a week later, and I was blocked. I chose this guy, and then I wrote a fucking message to him. I was supposed to write a message to him, what I would want him to read, my thoughts towards him. And then the author of the book, The Charisma Myth, stated in this exercise, they were you need to write out the apology that you want in return to your grievances. It's don't judge me. I absolutely wrote it out. I was on a little sticky note. I was I wrote out what I would want to hear in an apology. It's just, yeah. The author even points out in the book, it's yeah, this is going to feel weird to do this, actually, sit down and write a note out like this, and it feels really weird. I'm supposed to, reread the note, every night, I think, before I go to bed or something, so I guess I'm going to try that. I do clock out of work eventually, get home, and I start streaming Hogwarts, and I am invited to play with the 9-year-old girl. I say that I'm probably not going to play any games, but I can talk on Discord if she wants. Eventually I join the voice channel and I talk with her for a little bit. I lie, totally lie, and say that my parents want to watch something with me. I actually heat up some mac and cheese. Penny asks if I want to play Baldur's Gate 3. I say that I'm probably going to pass for the night. Let's see, there's a comma here. I was going to write something else, I think. Yeah. I lie to the 9-year-old, and I don't lie to Penny. I go and heat up some mac and cheese, and I do grab some cheese balls as well, I think. I mentioned in the podcast, I mentioned my journal. I have to record at some point in the night. At 10:50 p.m., I watch Fallout Episode 3. It was a really good episode. It's one of my favorites of the series so far, simply for the fact that Macaulay Culkin got a part in the Fallout universe, and he might have there was a conflict that his group of people were involved in the episode, but he totally could have survived. I'm not gonna lie, I'm hoping he survived. Moving on though, 12:25 a.m. I cry a couple of times throughout the night, but I do feel like that's a given at this point. Anyways, I gotta start recording now, so I'm gonna start, I promise, which leads me to here, the end of this week's episode. Oh my gosh, my hair is getting in my face and it's making me itch. This is a nightmare. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. I guess, well, I'm trying to get the hair out of my face. Okay, moving on to the outro. This week's rating is like a 7 or an 8. I had to start playing Baldur's Gate 3 again. And I started watching Fallout Season 2. That's pretty cool. The word count currently is 70,036 words journaled. I'm going to end it now. Am I really making a podcast, or am I just jerking off?